Thank you for joining us on 23 ABC at 6 p.m. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Priscilla Lara. Tonight, we begin our coverage with ongoing discussions among Bakersfield city officials regarding Measure M, also known as the Public Safety and Vital Services Measure, and how its funds are being allocated. Measure N was first approved in Bakersfield in 2018 to enhance and maintain essential services in the city. These services include the upkeep of public areas and efforts to boost the local economy. However, there are now allegations that the funding is being used for unnecessary services rather than focusing on public safety and economic development. The Public Safety and Vital Services Measure, also known as Measure N, is a 1% sales tax approved by voters in 2018. Its purpose to improve public safety, reduce homelessness, and boost economic development. At Wednesday's City Council meeting, some city officials, including Councilman Ken Weir and Councilman Zach Bashertash, expressed concern that the funds are not being used as promised to residents.
Good constituents in Bakersfield are probably not going to be happy when they find out the measure money is not always spent for what it was intended to be.
At some point in time, we have to dial it back and stop making this about pet projects and what makes us happy or who's right and who's wrong or even party lines. It's what is good for our people.
Others, including City Manager Christian Clegg, defended the allocations, claiming PSVS money has helped fund hundreds of jobs.
We have about $97 million coming in next year for Measure N, and over 70 million of those dollars are being spent on public safety. The majority is police.
In addition to that, Clegg says the funds cover positions in the fire department and homeless encampment cleanup teams, among others. According to Clegg, revenues have not kept up with rising costs of doing business. Therefore, he says the remaining $12 million from PSVS will help support general fund activity and operations, mainly positions within the police and fire departments.
That's a concern. We have to look hard at that, and we're going to be looking at, can we find some ways to reduce some of those budgets so that the general fund doesn't need help from Measure N.
And while steps have been taken to reduce crime in the city, in a statement to 23 ABC, Bashertash says other areas need to be reassessed. He says in part, quote, significant amounts have been directed toward homelessness services, but the situation on the ground continues to deteriorate. That's frustrating, not just for me, but for residents who want to see real improvement, end quote. However, Measure N is dependent on voters' approval. If voters aren't convinced that their tax dollars are being spent as they were told, Measure N may be ended. A public hearing will be held on June 11th for the community to give their feedback on the budget. For 23 ABC, I'm Priscilla Lara, your neighborhood reporter.